Thank you, friend, to give me this opportunity to share with you the experience that I've been working all my life. So the presentation will divide into two parts. The first part will be the work that I've been doing in Thailand, which have a close relation to the work of the ACCA in the region. It will be about the same development direction. And many of you here who are the expert on housing development. So this morning, I decided to add 20 more slides. So you can see more details on what I've been doing, because I think that we come to a point that we could solve the problem in a big way. Citywide, it's doable and it's possible. Only the big organizations still couldn't see this direction much, and we do exactly the same old conventional way, which will keep the slum growing and keep the poor people lack of opportunity as it has been. And we don't need to go to that track. We can change it completely. At least this is what we have tried. So to share with you, and later you can ask the question. So the first picture, just to show you, this is in Korea, which is more big change. But to show you the situation of the urban from 1950 to the year 2000. That's 1950, 1960, 1970, 1980. Many of the Asian cities have gone through such a drastic change in one generation. From the way that people live together with cluster, with communities and so on. And it changed into this kind of housing or even city development. This kind of change means a good new possible opportunity for this and that. But it also means that the people who live in the system like that have to go a big adjustment. If the adjustment have done so well and care for everybody, then everybody will be a part of the new development. But if you don't do it well, we have a lot of trouble. Like this, in the 1980s, 90s, and until now, is a lot of redevelopment in Korea. It's sort of mountain by mountain that has changed from the old settlement into new development opportunity. And you can see the rate of housing in Korea. I think more than 50% are rental housing, of the formal housing up to the informal housing. And you don't believe that poor people in Korea, some of them live in the pockets like this. Until now, some of them, some have adjusted themselves into the public housing whatsoever. But it happened not only in Korea, this kind of situation that certain number of the people have to adjust into a new city development, and there are no space for them. And this is one of the reasons slum and squatter together with the newcomer put together become the problematic situation. This one I don't need to show you. You probably know the pavement dweller. In the place where you don't have the space at all, people make what available space as their housing. This is one unit. This is one unit. This is the upper floor. Like that, 2 meters. And you have different kinds of poor people living in the city. This is conventional slum. It's also conventional squatter. You see big number of poor people who don't have much opportunity. This is what we call cage people in Hong Kong. 1 by 2 meters, where everybody live like that, stacked on top of each other. One box is one house. And when we look at the reason why this is not possible, there have been attempts by the government, different countries, but it's not able to solve the problem properly. These are some of the reasons, some of the points. Oh, poor people are not paying. A problem of eviction, city don't have capacity, no money, such and such. Yeah, I don't need to mention. You must know about that already. Okay, so my presentation will be involved on two sets of the experience. On the left-hand side, it's been my experience working in Thailand since 1977 when I worked with the government. I used to be a government, comment government all the time. But I was the government, and still the government. Even I work at the CODI, it's also a government organization. So work with the government, know all what government is all about. And then I've been involved in the land sharing project. Myself, with the friend, with a group of friends in the NGO sector, we're trying to find a solution for the poor while I was still in the NHA, and that gave me a lot of recognition in the country and in outside of the country. We won the Habitat Score of Honor since 1987 for the land sharing. And then in 1992 to 2004, with Kun Paibun, we start the Community Development Fund. So I become economist a little bit, working with the economists, trying to see how the flexible finance could be a very important tool to reach out as many poor people as possible. And then I become the director in 2000 and 2008, 2 terms. Then we also work on the environment activities. Yeah, so we have element of environment in what we've been doing also. And with the CODI process, we also have the opportunity to link the urban community and the rural community together. Yeah, and from the year 2000 onwards, the Ban Man Khong citywide upgrading have been implemented in 300 cities all over the country. With the support, the financial support from the government, adding to the fund that we already have. Yeah. And last year I involved in the constitution. I appointed as a national drafting committee of the Thai constitution, and we try to link the building, the making of the new constitution with people on the ground. We have also a lot of meetings with the people. One of the very progressive constitution, which one article was saying that citizens can organize the citizen assembly at any level, from the ward level to the district level to the provincial level and so on. So, citizen assembly, with the article guarantee and a lot of recognition on the role of the community. Anyway, so on the left-hand side is the work in Thailand, which I show you some of the picture later on. On the right-hand side are the work of the Asian Coalition for Housing Rights, which we start from 1988 with the fact-finding mission, more the housing right approach. And then we think that only housing right screaming, this is not right for the poor, is not working. So we develop more the exchange, learning among different countries in Asia, workshops and so on. Yeah? And then we start so many countries, the new countrywide process. Yeah? We'll show you the picture later on. And then allow in 1995 to 2015, we start this community saving and community fund in Asia in a big way. Yeah? Then we also link with the tsunami rehabilitation. In our latest program, we support more than 30 disaster rehabilitation by the community. And then 2009 to 15, we work on one of the very important programs, which many of the slides will show this experience. It's sort of gathered from so many years of knowledge. And we build this ACCA program, citywide upgrading in 215 cities in Asia. Yeah. It's a serious thing. 215 cities is not just number to make it exciting and no content. This is with content, yeah, definitely. And then the very important thing is the community architect network. We need to link professionals to support the people process. So just to show you the wide range of things I have been involved. So I could be a little mixed up talking this to explain that. If you don't understand or it's not so clear, you just ask the question. No? But what I'm trying to say from this slide is that we try to link the two together. Yeah? And this happened not only to I myself, as a member of the ACCA network, Asian Coalition for Housing Rights. It happened to all my friends in Asia. They're deeply involved in their national change, national implementation to make change with the people, with their fellow countrymen. And the experience from the country contribute to the regional knowledge. It's a pool of knowledge. It's a joint knowledge. And then the knowledge contribute back to the understanding of the country process. It strengthens the country process. While when you strengthen the country process, you sort of contribute to the regional knowledge, things like that. So this is why we could develop such a process at the region-wide scale. Just a few pictures. This is what I had this morning on the land sharing. Yeah, that is my early experience. Just to show you the picture of, this is the original slum. This is the apartment, about 800 units, and people live here. This is original slum, facing eviction, terribly. So the architect and the role of the group try to negotiate for the community and for the landowner to share the land. Instead of each party take all, which is not possible, so you share it. Yeah, so we call it the land sharing experience in 1980. You could see this flat here, next to the Silicate Convention, next to the National Convention. This one, 8-story, 800 units, built by the landlord. And the people pay the rent very cheap as the public housing. That's what the agreement was. This is the result of the land sharing. All this area is the stock market of Thailand. All important area. There was slum before. And the agreement is that if you want this land, you build the apartment and the people can rehouse themselves over there. So this is my earlier experience. And it's not simple. It's not in the form because it's so difficult to find a way how the informal setting of the people in the conflicting area would agree to move into the new housing project. It's built by the landlord, no? It's built by the developer together. So you want the land, you find the new housing for the people. This is also the cooperative housing. This is the pink area. Before it's like that. This is happened like this. Oh, well, this one we got the IYSH Score of Honor for a demonstration project in 1987. Okay, that's just to show the land sharing. So this is the picture of the ACHR before we start the ACCA program. We link with this country and more. We don't know, I don't know how to write more, so we put so many countries. So many of the key professionals in this Asia country who have similar experience, this and that, OPP, even Sheila Patel in the beginning, linked with all the other groups in Asia, and we build this Asian Coalition for Housing Rights together. For 30 years of our experience, we can say that these are some of the key points that we found, that urban poor community and people should be the key actor. If you want to solve poverty, people who are poor should be the key actor to solve it. They themselves should be the driving force. They themselves should be the passionate actor to make things possible. And they are possible. They can. Yeah? Second one is that it's a lot of vertical decision making, vertical system doing things for the people, or undermine them, or ignore them, whatever. So the way we want to solve the problem, we need horizontal links to make strong platform, to make change between different parties for community to be possible. And the change should be multi-dimensional. So physical, economic, social, cultural, the management and everything, it has to go together, not sectoral. The third is that community saving and fund are very important tools. And by working on this in the past 20 years, I could say that the finance system of the world doesn't go to the poor people. And this is why the present economic system or financial system produce poverty. Yeah. There's no finance on the ground. People don't have opportunity to make change. You're out. And they are in the lowest layer of the financial system. Huh? And not only the slum people, I work in the rural also. Rural now happening like that. There's no finance system for them to initiate change by themselves. So the upper layer dictate change for the lower layer all the time, and they become slaves of the new developments. And if we find a way that finance could go there and they initiate or they develop, innovate their own finance system to link together, change can be possible quite easily. Yeah? There's blood on this lowest organ, yeah? So it can move. Huh? If there's no blood, it dies. Huh? It has a problem, yeah? Something like that. So, and not only community, it's so important to build partnership between community, local authority, professional, and the other. Make a platform so there are supporting system between the people and the others. And it is very important that all that lead to the new process of city development. City development should be city development with people, target people, and for the benefit of people, not only economic generation. And there's no people, or only a few would benefit from that. But people as a whole should be a part of the city development. And we have participatory governance and leading to city participatory budgeting and structural change. So all what I'm going to tell you, although it's a project-based experience, but it all leading to structural change. And at the back of our mind, we have to see the relationship between project, program, and structural change. If we don't have that, we only do the project for project. The project will not be a part of the larger change. Yeah? So what are the relationships to that? Just one slide saying to solve urban poverty, it's important that the poor are the key actor. We support the process that needs to be designed to suit to the positive potential. So if they are the actor, what are their tools? If they want to go ahead, what are the tools? So we have to decide the tool and the process and the bridge so they can become the actor as much as possible. Sometimes we don't decide that and we expect them to do, so they cannot do, then we do it for them, we think for them, and then it's not sustained. Yeah. The need for collective process. Remember all the time that if we deal with the poor, it can be the solution for individual. Yeah. It needs to be a collective process. As individual, the poor are weak. But as a group, they are stronger. And the group can collect whatever problems which might happen to the individual. Yeah? And that's very important. The process has changed itself. To deal with the poverty, we cannot just think of product something like housing. You have to live in this house, finish. No. For the poor, to solve the poverty, we have to think about the process as change. How people gone into the process, and the process, little by little, bring them into a change. Change in different aspects. Change by they start to reorganize themselves. Oh, we group like this, we make decisions like that. They have confidence, they have capacity, they know how to make decisions together. So process as change, yeah. And also work at the real scale, linking community as working mechanism, not do just one dot or one spot of thing with no relation to the scale, yeah, okay. Sound a little philosophy, sorry, this should be the last slide. Anyway, because you are a professional. So then many of the experience will concentrate on this people-driven approach, yeah. If we able to change the scale of the problem into scale of solution, and let the poor people become solution, that will be the way to deal with the scale. Yeah, this is not philosophy. I show you more concretely how to work on that. But try bottom-up approach. Why we have to wait for the government to do something right? Hard. It's hard. If the supply side, which I mean the people who do things, are the actor determine the change, it's not going to be the solution. The demand side have to be visible. The demand side have to be capable. The demand side have to be a strong actor. If the demand side are the strong actor, then you can make the supply side go accordingly. Yeah? So this is the point. We cannot work with the invisible demand side, people side. So we have to try the bottom-up approach. People are solution. And the world now have changed, people have changed. People are not the same as 10 years ago, 20 years ago. They learn things from the media, television. In front of every house, they listen. They see things. The Prime Minister was saying that now we're going to work for the poor. Everybody hear that. Yeah? So they understand. They want to be a part of the change. No tools, no space, no way to make change possible. Then frustrating. Yeah? Okay, so let the poor at scale be the key actor. How to do that? So now I'm going to the experience in Thailand a little bit of the work in Thailand, and then we'll go for Asia. In Thailand, I worked for the CODI in 2004. The Thai government announced that citywide upgrading could be possible. And this is because CODI able to talk to the Prime Minister, Thaksin, who is now a little problematic for my country. He actually, I can talk to him quite well. He is a smart guy, too smart maybe. That's one of the problems. But anyway, he understands this, and he announced that from now on we're going to solve the slum problem in a big way and let the people do it. And this is why the poor people, the red shirt, no matter how the government say, they would be with Thaksin. Yeah, in some way, the guy know what the people like. Yeah, and this is one of the programs that we proposed to the government at that time. That why don't we let the people do it citywide, this and that, no? And we used this organization where I was the director to be the key organization, getting the budget from the government. And we pass the money directly to the community. Community have to start, do the saving, do the survey, and they get the money for the upgrading directly. We don't pass to any other. Yeah? So we manage the fund, and then we pass to the community. The key point is that this is the active demand-driven approach. Support the people directly. Citywide, not one project here, one project that, but you start together the whole city and decide which is the first, the second, whatever. And we have the new finance system reaching out to the people, build strong community, and solve poverty. Yeah, so this is more or less the concept. So you see from the left-hand side, you have community, municipality, you get the actor to sit together And you have the citywide joint planning solution. Then we find solution for the different slum area. And the solution could be anything. And this is opposite to the conventional housing development. The conventional housing development would always say, like in Indonesia, they call 1,000 tower, 1,000 tower policy. They might be able to build a few of them. But why we need to come with the tower? I asked them also, the government, why instead of we say 1,000 tower, you put the money as, this is the money, the money to make the 1,000 towers. But let the people have the freedom to do whatever is possible. Isn't it better? Yeah. So the form always comes before the details and the function. But for this approach, you get the people, get the slum, you discuss and see how each slum should find a solution. Yeah, this is what we call citywide. Then the first step, very important, you got to start seeing how many slums. Maybe this is the district, this is not the province, district by district. And from all the slums, the community people themselves involved in the survey. Yeah? Get the people to survey. And this is very important when people see the different community. They're quite excited and get together, have a discussion. Whose land is that? Water, sanitation, or whatever, you know. Get the citywide survey, and then come to, this is very powerful picture, the participatory planning. You notice something? Women. If you do anything which is process orientation, more and more women will come up. The men will feel bored. They want something quick and clear. Yeah? The process orientation, which require information, patience, the detail that involve everything, everybody. This is a selection that women will have to come into the forefront more than men. We don't select that. We just let the process go, and little by little. This is Muslim community in the south. You see most women coming. So planning, this is a layout work by people, not by drawing. And other process, how to make a house and so on. No? You stretch all the step and stage into the people exercise. Yeah? Then saving activity. Survey with information, see how we're going to plan and change, transform our community. Now we need the money. Yeah? The money that we can create ourselves very easy, start the saving. So no saving, no housing. We say like that. No saving, no housing. There's no free housing. People have to start getting together a system of finance. If they have the saving group, and the saving group acting as a bank, linking the formal finance and the people finance, this is possible. If we have the finance institution will not give the money to individual poor. It's too risky. But if you give it to a mechanism between the two, then this is possible. So build the saving group as a finance institution of the people in the community. But also to link the people in the community to work together. Because these people don't have the finance mechanism reaching them. The bank don't accept the poor. They accept saving, yes. But when the poor want the loan, they don't give the loan to the poor because they don't have the slip. Said like that. And in our system, the CODI give the fund, two kinds of fund. One is the subsidy for housing development, and another is the loan to the community, which organize themselves as a cooperatives. And the cooperatives organize the subgroup in the community, linking individual. Yeah. So this is a system of finance that we can pass a lot of development possibility to as many groups as possible. And this is to show some of the concrete upgrading. Yeah, this is the former slum. You see picture like this everywhere. And this community decide to buy this land. They negotiate with the landlord. If you make it clear that finance is possible, loan is possible for any community, if you organize, if you start negotiate with the landlord, the existing landlord of the landlord nearby, you search for the land in the city, whatever land possible you negotiate. If possible, we able to give the loan to any community who are organized, who have the saving group, who able to negotiate for the land. So either you buy the existing slum land or you find a new land, yeah, or you get the government in the city to agree with you. In this way, it means like you let the poor people become the actor to search for the land. Land acquisition by the people, okay? This land acquisition by the people. Only we say, we have finance available, make it loud and clear. And then you let this actor move. Search for the land and get the land. Yeah? So the people in this community, they negotiate with the landlord who own this land and want to evict them like this, and then they readjust, make it into plot, 40 square meter to 100 square meter. The poorer member stay in the 40 square meter. The more affordable stay in the 80 square meter, something like that. And they build it. In 1 year, you see this picture. Same group. Same group. I look at this, yeah, and it has a lot of meaning for me. Same group. This one has been condemned as poor, illegal, criminal. Huh? When you see the physical picture like this, in general, everywhere. But you give them the loan, they purchase the land, they build the house. This is from their own savings. They have a cooperative themselves. And change. You go into this community, you say, oh, no slum, these are decent people. Okay. Okay. Is it? These are slum people, but it's the same group of people. Same group of people. So people are not the problem. The system is a problem. And I say it all the time that systems are slums. You are slum. Poor people are not slum. You give them the opportunity and they repair, this community repair already. No problem at all. Because we don't provide this and we make our good people become bad people. Because of the bad system. Yeah? So we have to look more clearly at the system, not that people are bad, but systems are not right. Yeah? And once we understand that, we can fix a lot of things. This is the famous canal community. The upper one was the former squatter encroaching to the canal. Now the government our military government becomes so, you make that become so excited with the canal upgrading. They announce all the canal will have to be improved like this. But this has been done 5-6 years ago, where the former squatter changed into the upgraded slum like this. Yeah. So from that, it changed to this. We have a small booklet. If some of you interested, yeah, this is the Bang Bua upgrading. And not only the existing reconstruction, it could be the resettlement. Maybe one slum here, one slum there, facing the problem, they can get together and purchase a new tract of land. Yeah? With the new tract of land, they move. The organization provides a loan up to about 7,000, 8,000 US dollar per unit. Yeah? The loan go to the cooperative as a bulk loan. It's a wholesale loan. And the cooperative deal with the individual. Yeah? So in this way, you deal with only one actor, which is the cooperatives. And the cooperative deal with a lot of mess on the ground, collection and other, yeah. This is one slum of the garbage collector. Sorry. It's the garbage collector in Chantaburi. Wow. This is situation before Peel Squatter, right? And that from that squatter, it changed to a housing project like this. Yeah? Do you believe this is garbage collector? Poorest of the poor in the city of Kanchanaburi changed, and this is the inauguration of that project. And this is the leader. Now he been invited to many places for giving the experience. This is the governor and the other. So big fanfare for the success of the garbage collector. In the process of the transformation, how could we find a way that people themselves are the actor? They build together, they eat together, they think together, and so on. So this is what I try to spell out, that process is very important, yeah? Not only the product. And not only the housing. Housing is just a physical stuff, but how many other systems like welfare, community welfare, income generation. One city decide to buy a new rice field, so they make the rice field of the people in the city for all the slum to work together. And when there is disaster, community in the city are getting together. They also have the program called Descent Poor. They have to survey who are the poorest and trying to find a way that the poorest are a part of the whole process, something like that. So you can integrate this, not only the housing development. And the process also link into the partnership building. That canal settlement was able to make a working group. They get the university, they get the Treasury Department, which is the landlord. They have the municipality, they have the many other to sit together as a committee. So you build this partnership with the other to the project implementation process. And you get people in the city to be excited about that. This is the launch of this city, so all the slum community are making a march. You know? Now we're going to change all the slum into proper community, something like that. It's a political process in order to get everybody into a new belief that we can change it. And this change is important. Yeah. This has to be done all the time. Yeah. We developed in Thailand in 70 provinces, 286 cities. This is the former figure. Anyway, you can see some of the results from the development. The repayment is 97%. Okay? Repayment is 97%, no problem. What we got? We have the collective land. This is so important. Land have to be collective, at least for 15 years when they repay the loan. Community saving and fund, acting as community bank. They have welfare activity, getting everybody to care each other. They have community network. They have collective management. They have active citizen, yeah, at the end. Not sleeping citizen, active citizen. And it's so worth the upgrading. The government invests something, making some subsidy. But then you have the output, which is economic asset. The poor family, once you finish the housing development, housing construction, at least the price of the house will be double, triple, more than that. So this asset go to the poor automatically, yeah? So you have asset, you have legitimacy, you have healthy environment. You have community asset, you have organization, you have welfare, you have better social cohesion. We have political asset because now they link with the city. They have the partnership, this and that. That's the Thai part. Now with that experience and with the link of the ACHR, we try to find a way how the similar way of thinking could expand to Asia. Yeah? And we have the opportunity in 2009, we were able to convince the Gates Foundation. The first support they gave is 7 million, which is good enough. Now we really can go in a big momentum. You know? So we design the process in such a way that we support the citywide upgrading in Asian cities. And it can go in the same rate as Thailand, because Thailand we have more budget from the government. But we have to make it very carefully that the budget that we receive is good enough to spread out as many cities as possible, so that the concept of citywide upgrading or the opportunity for citywide upgrading can spread to as many parts of Asia as possible. Yeah? The ACCA program 2009 and 2014, after 2014 we implement in 215 cities. And we are able to support 2,000 small projects. Water, sanitation, whatever we call small project. And we are able to support 146 housing projects. Yeah? 136 city development fund now still operating. And 30 disaster rehabilitation projects. After the first 7 million, we received 4 more million and 2.5 more million, so it's about 14 million altogether. It's implemented by people based on concrete action, driven by real needs, citywide strategic planning, done in partnership aiming at structural change, as I mentioned earlier. So it's a proactive change. We don't try to spread the support and say, stop eviction, government is so bad. Yeah? We may say that 20 years ago, 15 years ago. Now we don't say a word on that. Not say a word, sometimes say it, because still there. But we move the tone into a proactive tone. We can change the slum. Why not upgrade all the communities? If community don't need to stay there because of a good reason, then move, no problem. Evict, no problem. But what are the alternative plans? Yeah? And if we do it citywide, it's easier than just fix into one community at a time. Yeah? We look into the land possible. We have network, we have the other to pay attention for the more broader aspect. And that the solution for the broader aspect is more possible than one single restrictive conflicting area. Yeah? The support in one city. So this is the design. Support from one city about 60,000 US dollar. Yeah? Very little, but this is for the small project, about 15,000. At least 5 projects can develop the small upgrading. And one housing project, 40,000. This is maximum, right? Some cities don't use up to this. City development coordination, including the survey and other a little bit, and exchange visit. So it actually may be more than 60,000, plus this and that a little, maybe go up to 65,000. But this is the one that we have to let every city feel very clear what are the budget ceiling. And they have to use this budget ceiling to spark off a citywide upgrading process. Yeah? So it's cheap, no? The very important aspect, you make it cheap and possible and clear, and let the people on the ground have big political space and transformative space so they can be the actor as much as possible. So you start the survey, as many cities as possible have started. This is a picture in Fiji. When you make the map like that, you put everybody, which never exists. They used to be very invisible. Nobody know who is the guy and so on. Sometimes you have community, sometimes you don't have community. Nobody know each other. But mapping is the way to get everybody visible. Very important. And to show and to see from this how to move forward. Existing, upgrading, or changing, giving the land some part of the land and then move that part into the other, whatever. But let the people do it. Let people in the community understand that, realize that, and make decisions together as much as possible. Architect can help in the process. This is some picture. We able to support the survey in 183 cities, and 10 countries make the overall national survey. They said. This is, for instance, you can identify that this is a slum. Yeah. How many people on what land? This box give the information. Suddenly, you have the picture of the whole, all the slum in the city. Yeah. And then you compare with the aerial photo and see how it goes. You invite everybody in this slum area, the key person, to discuss. Now, what are we going to do? What are the things that we have to develop, this and that? And each community can start thinking, what could be the solution? What are the possible plans to develop, to change? Are there available land, this and that? Negotiate. We start the negotiation. Citywide, you have the network can show the authority this map and negotiate together. You have 10 tracts of land, you may get 2 or 3. Start as a more proactive actor from the people to the other. Then the architect would help. This is a very powerful picture in Nepal, where you get the people in the community. From the survey, you sit together, you do the planning. And this is why the CAN network is so important. CAN network are the people who support this community planning process. Yeah. Community planning process to empower the people into the planning of their own settlement. And how to set the new housing project in the plan, how to build, how to work together, whatever. So the participatory planning will start changing the existing slum-like situation into a new possibility. And in this process, if people involved and they believe that it's possible, then you have a very powerful force from the people to move things forward. This is the picture showing the planning process in Myanmar. Yeah? That's the architect. Architect is not here. No, not in the picture. For people, when you say 2 meters, they don't know what 2 meters means. 3 meters, what it means. So you got to show them this means 2 meters or 3 meters, and toilet this big. Yeah, they even draw the picture of the toilet. And can you sit in that toilet? Like that. So the dimension for the poor people have to be real. Yeah. Otherwise, when we show them the plan on the wall or something, they couldn't understand that. Yeah. Then I come into the small upgrading. Yeah. But these are all the elements of the ACCA program which come together. After the planning, then we have to fix something. And the community may decide that this community needs a walkway. They need a wall because the sea is sort of trying to take the former walkway out, or whatever they think is fit. Yeah. Once they agree together, what would be the small upgrading? They get this budget, about $3,000. People ask me, why is so small? Why don't you make it? Bob Buckley was asking before, why not 10,000? I think 3,000 is too small. And we argue that it has to be small because this is project by the poor. We have to find a way that this is the technology of poor people. Poor people are very good with small budget. Yeah? If you give them a lot of budget, they will be a little confused how to deal with that. And the project that come from organization for a lot of budget is always the budget of the intermediaries, the NGO or the government, big budget for small thing. Here, 3,000, you have to find a way how you do it, and you have to agree together. So either the walkway or whatever, there are more picture of this. So the space in which they are working together become the space in which they start interacting with each other. Yeah. So you have the picture where poor people are become actor, doing things, fixing together, and they feel so proud. Yeah, so proud to make that happen. It can go into the mangrove typhoon forest. It could be a place like this in Afghanistan. The sliding, the land is sliding, or hand pumps or whatever. And then with the small project where people feel proud, they can make inauguration for the walkway. You invite the mayor, you invite the governor to cut the ribbon, yeah, to recognize this change of the community. Even the toilet, I was the chairperson to inaugurate the toilet in India before with the community leader. People feel so proud, to make 2 toilets possible. So at the end, we able to support 1,400 small projects. We approve about that. But about 2,000, more than 2,000 projects have been developed. When we say 2,139 projects implemented, this has a lot of meaning. It's not the name of the project only, but it means that this process go to 2,000 community. We can activate 2,000 community in Asia. This is something. Community feel alert, feel active now. 2,000 community, that's not small at all, in 200 cities. This spent 2.8 million only for the small project. We found that only 24% come from ACCA. And this is very interesting. If we understand this principle, it means the strategic intervention process could lead into many other budget from the government, from the other. You get the money from their pocket. It's sleeping, it never comes. Now this 24% budget from the ACCA program help people active and negotiate, and you get more budget. So the real value of the project is a lot more than what we support, and that's very important. Once they're able to support, they all feel proud. So the government feel proud with what happened in the process, and that's very significant. I show one example. We look into this process. Say, for instance, in Cambodia, this small ACCA program, small or not, I'm not so sure, able to support 28 cities in Cambodia. Yeah. This is picture of slums in Cambodia, only waiting for eviction because no other solution, no mechanism, no policy. Yeah. Okay. People link into the saving group, and by having the saving group, they link into the network of different regions, and the network of this different region cover all the area, which become the mechanism to work together because they don't have other mechanisms, so the people are the working mechanism. And then they start negotiating for land, search for land, and trying to see how the different upgrading, different land would be possible. And these are the picture. When they're able to get the land, they move the house, existing slum house into the new land. Some countries in Asia still use this method. No? This is to show you the picture of the small upgrading, the 15,000. The 15,000 US dollar. They stretch it into 9 communities. which means they want to activate this 9 community in this city. Yeah? 9 community doing drainage, road, etc., etc. And these are the costs spreading into this community. Not much, lower than our salary. But we can activate one community to start up and link with the other, and start the saving, negotiating for the land, like that. And these are the number of the project implemented in Cambodia. You can see later on the housing project like this, the $40,000 plus with the other source. No? And in one area they have a fire, which always happen to the slum. But because they have this network, they have the fund, they negotiate with the government. And they're able to rebuild the housing in the same area. So the big project, the grant of 40,000 to support. So you see the situation from this change to this. 40,000 not only for one unit, no? Sometimes for us, we can rent one unit. But it's for the whole community, for infrastructure also. And this is in Vietnam, in Vinh city. It's the slum-like change into this 2-story. Not all the money come from this 40,000. It's about 1/3 or 1/4 only. But it sort of unlock the possibility. Same thing, that's in Myanmar, this in Vietnam, this is in Fiji. Very interestingly, in the process, we have to stir a lot the Vietnam country because this is a very stiff political system. The architect came from Thailand, community from the other. They also have the chance to visit the others. And finally, they're able to work together. And very interesting, this picture. These are the public housing in Vietnam, built from the time of Ho Chi Minh. A number of them here and there. And all these public housing are now facing eviction. No solution. Going to be replaced by other kind of development. How many? So many. They survey, the figure is more than 100, something like that, in Vinh only. So one kind of housing accommodation at the time of the socialist stage now is changing and no new solution. So what we support is the way that if there is the fund, the people in some of these social housing can get together and can make a new housing project by themselves. Simple, cheap, possible. So these are the kind of picture of the housing project in different countries. That's in Mongolia. This is in Bangladesh. This is in Tibet. We cannot build as many as this, but we start the process making, I think, 10 units or 5 units from the disaster in Tibet. So the housing unit that we support in total 146 projects is go to the on-site upgrading. Almost half of them, yeah, and 12% relocation, 19% relocation of whole community. This is the squatter. Very interesting that this graph is very similar to Thailand. If we are able to do it citywide, it means that slum community can probably stay in the same place. You negotiate before the problem happens. We negotiate whether we can buy this land, whether we can improve this and so on. So about half or almost half can stay in the same place. If we think about the solution before the eviction happens. If eviction happens, it's very difficult. Yeah? And in our experience, we found that the government actually grant the land about 44%, almost half the land getting from the government. Actually, the government have a lot of land, no? But if you ask them without a plan, without money, They said, no, we don't have land. But if we negotiate well with the network, with the money, with the plan, you get some. And these are the budget that we support in all these countries in Asia. Yeah? If you want to know how many projects, you just divide by 40,000, yeah, about that. We should write the number of the housing project. It's just to show some of the countries, like this is Nepal. These are the cities that they developed the process. This is the old settlement. This is the former squatter area. This is the old settlement. They improved the infrastructure and loan for the housing. Yeah. This is in Myanmar, where so many people from the military rule have a lot of eviction, most of them until now. So the group of people who face eviction get together and purchase the land. They identify the land and they develop the housing. Very, very simple, tiny, lovely unit. The loan is about $600. Okay, $600 for one unit. But what they repay, they purchase land and house and construct the house. The money in which they repay for the land and house is cheaper than the rent, okay? Cheaper than the rent that they could face eviction all the time. Yeah. So this is to show that the finance is really a serious problem. Yeah. And they fix everything themselves, infrastructure and other. It's linked together the housing project in Yangon city and the disaster, the Nagris disaster. Yeah, the people help over there. Once you have experience, you come to work in the city. This is to show how proud the people are. Actually, this is advertising picture, but I like it because I think that people feel good. I'm the one who design and make this project possible. And there are projects in Bangladesh. There's a big UNDP support program. I was there just last week. And we were the one who support the housing fund. So not only infrastructure development, but it go to the housing security program as well. And now in the new stage of the UNDP, they will put a lot more emphasis on the housing development of the people. They believe now that housing development fund is possible. These are the cities in Mongolia. No, this is not Mongolia. This is to show that apart from the housing development, all the disaster rehabilitation also be a part of the process. Whenever you have disaster is something that the government always have a lot of steps and prescription what to do. It's very slow. But if community get together as a network and they have fun, they're very quick. They're active. They will go to the site and they start the process as quick as possible. And this is quite important because in the disaster problem, once the government enter into a process too much, poor people community always face eviction. Yeah. In Sri Lanka tsunami, they said, now nobody can live in the 300 meters from the sea. It means eviction of them. But if people are getting together and link and start improvement, you can negotiate for better possibility. And it's quick, otherwise you don't have food, you don't have other service, in several countries. The whole process, now I'm trying to link with the structural change. In Afghanistan, women become very active actors, particularly on the saving activities. So you bring the role of the women up to the process. So they're acting as inoculator, the one who get the money, and they have the space in which they could make decisions on behalf of the community. And by having the network, it's very important that the people from scattered community can get together, can have a platform through the development process. They can have a platform to share, to think, to discuss things together. The people could link with the university. Yeah? So many countries, once you have the network, you have an active process, you can ask the university, the student to help. In Cambodia, it's done very structurally. The university in Cambodia are now helping the people in the community in several cities. Yeah? And the inclusion of the role of the university to the urban politics to negotiate possible change is very important. If you leave the people with the authority, people sometimes have a problem. So you have the other intermediary, like university, other civic group to also join in the discussion. It helps balance the power relation, the power equation of the city. The citywide politics. When community link together as a network, you have a bigger platform to negotiate. In making change, it's very important that people have to change the relationship between the lowest layer, who are nothing, who are nobody, into an active actor, accepted by the city. Yeah. If you cannot change the relationship, you would have to be a follower all the time. And you are invisible. You are out from whatever plan. So we have to find a way that poor people, through the process, are visible, are active, are respectable, are able. And only they themselves active, you could achieve whatever. Yeah? So a politics of change in this relationship between poor and the other is very important. The power relation have to be chipped to this development process. If power are exactly the same, don't expect much change, because somebody wants to decide for somebody all the time. It's a depressive and repressive process. People can decide for themselves. People can work for themselves, but work together. So the change in this power relation is one of a must. But we cannot say that. We cannot announce that too clearly. We say for the development process, people have to get together. They need to build a network. So the network is a platform for the people to learn from each other, to share each other, to help each other. Okay? The term is very social. But in its implication, this is a power shift. Yeah? And we have to understand that. Otherwise, we make the network just for learning. The network should be able to negotiate for their people in a nice way, in a soft way, in whatever, but you negotiate. If you don't negotiate, the interests of your group are not a part of the city development process. Yeah? And not only land and housing, there are many other several stuff which have to be a part of our active decision making. So what we're talking about is new politics of cooperation. New politics of cooperation and building local partnership. So the project gives people the space to be active, to link together. And by being active, being linked together, you build up your visible group into an active play in the local politics. Yeah? And we have to see how this development is positive, proactive, and soft. But it's there. Yeah, and it's very important. Otherwise, governance is not working. Governance is a nice word. We say it all the time. Do we expect the existing political system to change from bad to good in one day? No, no way. Governance can only be possible when different group, poor group, outside group of the power system becoming active and visible and being a part of what change, and they're likely to say what they think, what they want. Yeah? That's the way to deal with governance, when a lot of poor active groups are a part of the change of the city, not only about their life in the slum But what about city planning? What about climate change? Climate change can be decided by the city only. The city will just fool you to do some field project, which has nothing to do with whatever. We have a lot of projects in Thailand, the sanitation project. What is it that they purify the water from the drain and then it go to the river and something. Once they have the project like that to make the water clean, many municipalities propose the project, and now it's closed. It's maybe 10% can function, 90% are not function. Because it's a project, nobody know. Nobody know. We get a lot of money for that. So people should know, people should be a part of that, people realize, people help the city responsible for the city development. And this is a normal practice, a general way how we develop the city. And this is the way we deal with poverty from the cause, from the beginning, not after, not at the end. Yeah? Only better local governance and participation can deal with many other illness, problematic situation of the city. So what we're talking about is, in some city, in some country, they have the national community network which can deal with the league of the city. League, this is the picture, maybe Philippines, the LGU, local government league, linked to the city authority. And this is the picture of one city. We have the city community network, we have the city development committee linked with the authority, and then we have the private sector, we have the NGO, we have the other. So we design everything together here. Community network, we have the fund here. It's just a diagram to link up all these different relationships from the citywide upgrading, build the group, have the network, and we link it up into this platform. Yeah? Because most of the city don't have this platform. It's only city authority and councillor. Right? You win in the election, you have full power to decide whatever we like. No, we should have the citizen platform to get together and to see everything and to help manage, help responsible for the city development, like that. So in all the ACCA process, we support the money that we support the project, small project or big project, it go to the network at the city level. Sorry. No, I'm about to finish this last 2-3 slides. The money at the city development fund in the beginning of the ACCA program is about 48%. It adds with other fund, community fund and other. Now the proportion of this will be less and less because there's increase in the other. So in some ways, like we develop 2 tiers of finance. One is community fund, and other is the city fund. Yeah? And the city fund give the loan to the first housing project. So other community who need the money for their housing project will put pressure to the one that already got the loan. Okay? But the fund is becoming a financial mechanism for the community in this city. And if we have a look at many countries, we can see that this is the contribution from community, the pink area. It has different proportion, how this kind of community fund have been built in different countries. And we make a lot of horizontal learning among countries. When we have a meeting in one country, we invite groups, a group which is a mixed group between community, that support the NGO, and sometimes the local government, go together as a team, 4 or 5 people, to that meeting, to discuss about the project, to assess about the project, to learn on certain aspects about the projects. We have this big team all the time, moving from one country to the other. And that's so important, no? Because if you are in Vietnam, you believe you are the best. You are doing all the right thing. Suddenly you are moving here to Thailand. Oh no, they're doing all the different thing, different way. It's sort of struck in your face. Huh, why they do it like that, you know? And then they start learning new possibility and different, and every country are the same. And that's very important to break the too much confidence that what I am doing is the best. Huh? And this is the learning, sharing, borrowing ideas and so on. And it's very important that we don't need to be too confident in the thing that we are doing. We have to learn all the time, adjust and improve. And these are the kind of support for so many countries in Asia. The figure would have to be adjusted a little bit. Okay, finish. Thank you very much.